Hello, everybody. We are live once again for 2 weeks in a row, which is the first time we're doing this. Hopefully, in the near future, we'll be able to do this as well. We are with a special episode. We are going to play the games that are nominated for Best Game of the Year at the GOTY. We have here a guest for the first time, André Lunelião, who
Hi.
who hasn't been with us, not because he doesn't want to, because he has some internet issues that he's trying to solve. But he's here with us because he's the specialist of the ZX Spectrum games, new and old, and there would be no better person to be here with us to talk a little about of each game and give us some details about them. So welcome, Andrea. I'm going to give you the word in a few minutes. First, I'm going to say hello to everybody at home. We are doing this in English, but because we made that decision the last episode to be able to have people from all different countries here with us in the future. But sometimes we may speak in Portuguese, just because sometimes it may be easier. But we'll try to, if someone speaks in Portuguese, translate so that everybody can be with us and not lose anything. Usually I start with a little bit of round of news at the museum, but since we did this last week, I don't think it's as necessary. I'll just reinforce that GOTY is happening in the 15th of February, so it's a little over a week from now. Don't forget to vote for the Hall of Fame. The voting closes on Saturday. So you have the rest of today, tomorrow, and Saturday to vote. So don't forget about it. We've had a lot of votes so far. So make sure your voice is heard and give us your vote so we can honor the game for Hall of Fame this year. João, do you want to add anything?
Everything. Hi, everyone. Good evening. Everything is moving full steam ahead. There are some construction work being done in the place where we organize the GOTY, so we're changing the room a little bit for this year. At the same time, we showed it on social media, and it was fun because people engage. We are doing conservation work of our big ZX Spectrum and big TS 2020, the tape recorder from Timex. So the big objects we have in the beginning, in the entrance of the museum, they're being restored. We had to go there today because it's about to rain, so there's lots of things we were taking care of. So everything is moving, everything will be ready for not this Saturday, the other one, 15. We're very excited. I think it will be for sure the best GOTY we ever did. It's the third in a row live, so if you are available, join us. For the first time, we have Crispin Sinclair, one of the sons of Sir Clive Sinclair, and his family with us. So it's an opportunity to get an autograph, to make some special question, whatever you think. But he will be with us mostly in the morning, when he will be doing a tour of the museum. In the afternoon, he will be with us for a while for sure, but I cannot promise anything in particular. So yeah, I think you said it all with the Hall of Fame. Yeah, and for now, I think that's the main thing. Well, the only news since last week. Well, when we did last live, there was already the documentary about Timex, right? Yeah.
It was the next day. Actually, it was the very next day. We did the watch party, and then the next day we did the Dead Chase episode. Okay, I'm just gonna say hi to Ravi Ortiz, who joined us. Maybe for the first time. I don't remember if he ever joined us, but hi, Ravi. He's a very well-known face in the Spectrum community. Usually, I don't know if every year, but at least the most recent years, he's been with us remotely on the GOTY event presenting a category. Maybe he'll present it again this year. I don't know. We'll see.
I won't tell you that.
And hello to everybody else that's there. I see João Silva. I see Bruno. That was with us last week. And so, hi everyone. Share the stream with your friends to join us. Now, since we have a lot of games to play, there are 10 games we're going to play. João has already spoken. You know him, the museum founder. I'm going to go quickly present everybody else, and then I'm going to leave Andre to the end, since he's the new face. So I'll just ask the rest of you to say hi to everybody at home. So Johnny, you can start.
Hello, everyone. It's a pleasure being again in here. Let's see how this goes today, since it's new games.
There's no pressure today. You don't need to win.
It's not a tournament. You don't need to make a good lots of points.
At least you have to show it a bit.
Exactly. So thank you, Johnny. Nunu, who's the second time he's here with us. This time he had a little technical problem, so he can't turn on the camera, but say hi to everybody at home, please.
Hi, everybody. I'm sorry, I have some problems with my cam. I don't know why, if it's because of the Skype or some hardware problem on my side. But I want to thank to the museum for this opportunity. I'm a lucky guy because I will try 3 great games on this night.
Thank you, Nun, for joining us again, and the person who's responsible for us being here today, the guy who invented the method to us play ZX Spectrum games online with each other. So, George, say hello to everybody at home, please.
Hello, everyone. So let's have a good evening playing some of the great games from 2024. We will be surprised for sure.
Okay, so, and last but not least, we have Andrea for the first time with us. I've already said that you are the founder of PLANETA Sinclair. You can say hi to everybody at home and add anything else you want.
Hi, guys. Yeah, thank you. Hi, guys. Good evening, everyone. It's a pleasure to be here for the first time. I hope to be more times with you. It depends of my Wi-Fi.
The Wi-Fi, yeah, exactly.
It's just awful. I live in I live in the countryside, and my Wi-Fi is not good at all. I'm not going to be a spoiler. Don't count on me to tell the winner of GOTY or something like this. The games are chosen by alphabetical order, isn't it, Diogo?
Yeah, exactly.
So.
We're going to play the games by alphabetical order, yeah.
So the first one is Aliens. It doesn't mean it will be the winner. It's just because it's the first letter of.
Yeah, Andre, when he announces the nominees for GOTY, he usually puts the games in alphabetical order, so there's no discussion. Yeah. It's a simple rule, and there's no indication of who won or which placement the game got in a certain category.
Don't count on me to be a spoiler, but I will give some insights about these wonderful games. There are 10 games, all different, almost of all are different, and it was hard to this year to choose the 10 best games that enters the GOTY. Okay.
Are there any? I think, if I'm not mistaken, you gave a few honorable mentions for games that didn't end up being in the list. You want to mention any that were close to being on the list but didn't manage to?
It was La Daga Oscura. It was a text adventure.
That's nominated for other categories, right?
Yes, it is a wonderful game in 2 parts. It was a pity it didn't make it to achieve the top 10. Mijadouro 2, Mijadouro 2, sorry. Sometimes I forget I'm speaking English.
No problem.
Don't worry.
Mijadouro, it is a funny word. It means the missing place, in Portuguese. And it's
I'm reading here your when you announced the nominees, you mentioned Binary Battle, Arlo, Cursed Castle 2, La Daga Obscura, and Max Stone as like games that almost made the GOTY list, but were close but
Misa-
didn't manage to.
Yeah, Misadoro 2, Arlo, and Dark Castle were created with the standard engines like AGD and this is Game Maker and are arcade adventure platformers games. They are very good on its genre. Uh, Binary Attack, it's different from all the other games we are expecting. It's something refreshing and new. It was one of my favorite games of the year. If I'm not mistaken, it was my favorite game this year, but it didn't make
Because of course
the
there's
top 10.
a big list of jury that vote, and so your vote only has a little
Yes.
percentage of impact, and the others. So even if you put it at first, other juries maybe
Yeah.
didn't even put them on the top 10, so didn't manage to
Yeah.
get on the list.
If I do remember, it make it on 11th or 12th position.
Yeah, there it is. So
I
very
can't
close.
remember now. Yeah, it was Misadoro 2 and Binary Attack. It was by a small nail.
Yeah.
It didn't make it.
Guys, can I make just three very quick comments? One, for the first time in the GOTY ceremony, for those going to Cantanhede, we'll have these games available to play and test. It's the first time we're doing it, so that's one announcement that we can do. Second thing, regarding what you were discussing about the jury and the impact and all that. When Andrea called me many years ago challenging us to start helping organizing or co-organizing the GOTY, the Planeta Sinclair Awards, one thing I liked from the very beginning was precisely this thing about the jury, because the jury was always an international team, as, let's say, big as possible, manageable, of course. And that's something that I believe is very important, because no one can say it's Andrea's decision or Flip or whoever. And so I think that's very, very important. Of course, guys, we intend to be the Oscars of the ZX Spectrum. But again, this is something that we do for fun, for promoting the games, for giving visibility to the creators, to honor everyone that is still making stuff for the Spectrum. It's a competition, but it's a competition that we hope that brings awareness and enjoyment and all of that. But we try to do it the best that we can within rules that need to exist. Of course, they can be questionable, but we believe the model we have is the best one. Finally, and just a side question that João Silva was making in the chat. I don't know if it was, I think it was you, Diogo, who suggested to play these games in this session, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So, João, it was Diogo, yeah, I think so. So it's a good thing to have younger people in the team. They come up with some ideas that sometimes are not crazy, or crazy, they are crazy in a good way. So thank you, Diogo. And
I mean, it was joining two things. It was joining this Loads at X Gaming with GOTY and give a little promotion for GOTY, and give a shout out to these games that some people never even heard of them. So before the ceremony, they can see and they can also choose their favorite and root for them when the time arrives to announce the winner. Okay. Very well. So we have 10 games to play. So like I told in the beginning, Andrei is going to comment a little bit about each game and tell us. He's the one that played all the games, obviously, because he had to, and it's what he does. And for the GOTY, obviously, he had to play every single one so he could vote. So he's going to be commenting for each game. Also, obviously, we're also going to give our opinions based on what we are watching. So we're going to start with Nuno Vinagre, if I'm not mistaken. He's going to play the first 3 games. We're going to be playing them in alphabetical order. And we're going to start with
Aliens Neoplasma 2.
2. Okay, very well. So we're going to start out with that game. Nuno is going to be playing. Nuno, is everything okay? Can you play the game? No technical problems? We are not hearing Nuno. I don't know what happened. In the meantime, let me see what people are saying. So João Silva is saying a good promotion for the GOTY Awards. That was the point. Thank you. We have also Doni, who was with us last week. He joined us again, so thank you for being here. It's good to see even in 2024 still making ZX Spectrum games, Bruno said. I have to admit, me as a younger person who didn't play ZX Spectrum games, it was shocking to learn that people still made games for a computer that has more than 40 years. I mean, the computer is older than me, so it's cool to see people who are so passionate about a computer that even after 40 years they still make software and games for it. They're still not talking, so we'll keep on until maybe he figures out how to fix the problem. So like we said, we're gonna start out with the first game in alphabetical order. So the first game is Aliens NEOPLASMA 2. So André, my first question to you is, the game is called Aliens NEOPLASMA 2, so it's a sequel, I'm assuming. So can you tell us a little bit about that?
The game comes from one of the most highly regarded teams in the ZX Spectrum scene. Sanchez team is very well. They are very well known. They made some years ago first Aliens NEOPLASMA. I remember it.
Was it nominated for a GOTY at the time, or was it before a GOTY?
Yeah. It wasn't the winner. I do recall it was Valley of Rains, the Russian game
from Zazie.
And it came in second place. 1 or 2 years later, we have the team have done Outer Shadow, and it came second again on the GOTY.
I think there's if I'm not mistaken, there's a physical version that the museum has of Delta Shadow, right? Yeah.
Delta Shadow, yes. Delta Shadow, yeah.
Delta Shadow, yeah. I remember seeing.
And even Aliens NEOPLASMA, the first episode. I have a Spanish edition. I think it's Spanish. In a cartridge, in a detonator.
Detonator, okay.
Yeah.
Like the sword of Ayana?
Ayana, yes, and some other Spanish games.
Okay.
André, João is asking here a question. I know the answer, but maybe you can elaborate on it. So João Silva is asking if these games are available to play for free on PLANETA Sinclair. The answer is no. But can you tell us how can you play this game? Where can you purchase it? Do you have a link on your posts for the people to go and play?
On my posts and on my reviews, I always there is always the link to the creators page. I don't post any game except for the Bohocop games because he gave me permission to do that. All the other games are hosted on Spectrum Computing or on the creator space. Some of them are paid, so there is no piracy in PLANETA Sinclair.
The time of piracy is
Sinclair. Yeah, go to the review and
search the game and you'll have it there.
There is the download. The download link is on the
I'll put the link of the post you announced the nominees here in the comments, and you can see the name of the games, and then you can search for each one individually. And
you are going to post it?
Yeah, I put in the chat the post you did announcing the nominees, so they can see the names of the game.
I'm not watching.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, the quick show because it would slow down my Wi-Fi connection.
No problem.
I wouldn't be able to talk.
Okay, I was going to ask Nuno to tell us what he's thinking about the game, but he hasn't spoken a word. So
everyone is.
The game looks good. Let me tell you. This is 48K or 128K?
128, I think.
128?
Yeah. There is too much here to be 48K. You can complete the game in about 50 minutes.
Okay.
There is possibility of putting your name, if you complete the game, in an online ranking.
Okay.
Sensei created a page for that. So when you complete the game, it opens the ending menu as a surprise. It's a link to the online page. There you
Okay.
can
I was reading here a comment by Doni saying the music is good, and that remind me. Let me see what other categories Alien NEOPLASMA is nominated for. So it's nominated for Best Graphics, it's nominated for Best Loading Screen, it's nominated for Best Sound. There it is. He was talking about the music being good, so it's nominated in the sound category as well. It's nominated for Best Arcade and Action Game, and finally for GOTY. I don't think I forgot about that. So we spent about 5 or a little more minutes on this game. George, maybe we can go to the next one?
Guys, I have to confess one thing. You start talking about the sound of the game and I was like, I'm not listening anything, but I'm hearing everyone okay. So Skype was going through the headphones, but the sound from the software we used was not. So I was not hearing anything. I was like, what? Now
But you can hear it now, okay.
Yeah, now I can.
George, are you there? Can we go to the next game, please?
Yes, we can go to the next
The only
game.
thing we should try to understand what's happening is really about the audio from Nuno, because it's,
I don't know what happened.
not very good to be. So the person playing the game cannot comment. So I don't know. So okay, we'll move to the next game, and if we do so, then Nuno has 1 or 2 minutes to. He's saying that he's having issues with sound in Skype. It was working before, so should we change the order of the games? It's just a question, George, I don't know. And move instead to a game from João Encarnado or someone?
We can. João, are you ready to present your games?
Then I would suggest Nuno Vinagre to get out and try to log in again and see if it solves the matter of the audio.
We have first appearance on the chat by Scubinha. What's up,
What's
guys?
up?
What's up, guys? All good? Hi, thanks for joining us. Okay, so we skipped to the 4th game, which is Escape from Happy Hills. Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay, so André, what is Happy Hills? Can you talk
it's
little about the
funny to see João playing a text adventure game. Just almost like seeing Rafael Ladita playing a game like this. Okay, this is not a standard text adventure game because you have to choose the options. This is like make your own adventure game. We have several options, usually 2-3 options to you can choose of, and the game is has brilliant graphics and screens. It was created by the Furilu Productions. It's IA DVD and Molomazu. They live in Japan. At least IA DVD lives in Japan. I think Molomazu is Japanese. I'm not sure. And they are using the Mucho engine modified by IA DVD. So the game has beautiful graphics, as you can see. They have done some other games like this, and this is the story is like a prequel to a game they have done some years ago, 2 years ago or something like that. and it creates the atmosphere for the game, and yeah, it's very nice, and it's very linear. It's not a difficult game.
Is it
You can
only
complete.
available in Spanish, or is there a version in English?
Yes, there is a version.
English?
There is an English version.
Okay.
Played. Yeah, I played the English version, not the Spanish one.
Yeah, but
I'm not
João is playing the Spanish one.
We
so-
wanted to tease João
to be
Encarnado,
different. He wanted to be different. Yes.
and he was lucky it was not the Japanese version.
Oh yeah.
So everybody that
yeah,
doesn't
no,
speak
no,
Spanish,
no,
don't worry.
Camera in Nuno! Nuno Vinagre
Hey,
has a
Nuno.
camera!
We can see
Woo!
Nuno.
But I can't speak. I don't know why.
you
No,
can
we
speak,
can hear
we are
you. You
listening
can
to
hear you.
Yes.
It's okay.
Everything is working.
Don't
Oh, perfect.
push no more buttons.
Don't touch
It's everything is
anything.
okay. Welcome
Okay.
back. So we have Noon finally with us. Very good. So like last game,
Would be interesting the Japanese version.
I'm just gonna
Yeah.
say what other categories the game is nominated for. So, like Aliens, Neoplasma is also nominated for Best Graphics. And then we have it, I'm guessing, nominated for Best Text Adventure. And GOTY, so nominated for three categories. André, do you have anything else to add about this game?
We have a complaint about not about the game, about João Encarnado's performance. João Silva is saying in the chat that João Encarnado doesn't like it, and so he doesn't even read the text. He's just keeping the screens. Come on,
Those I already have read because I tried the game before and I was always reading the same. No, this one's not. I didn't saw, so I must read them.
You have to look for the clues to advance on the game. You have to do some things before you can go forward on several screens. So yeah, it's like you have to solve some puzzles, and it's usual on this kind of game. This game is perfect because even for the people who don't like text adventures, this is not a standard text adventure. You don't have to write the commands.
You have various options that you select, right?
You just have to choose the options.
Yeah.
Okay.
I gotta say, I've never played the text adventure. I'm sorry. Obviously, text adventures are a product of this time, and eventually they disappeared. But nowadays we have not text adventures, but games that are very inspired by text adventures. Games where you're following a story and you have to make decisions, and those decisions impact the story.
By the way,
At the beginning,
I think we can refer that it was announced by Porto Editora, a Portuguese publishing company, that they are relaunching the Aventuras Fantásticas. So I don't know the name in English.
Those books that
Yeah,
I don't know how you say in English. Let me
The
just
first
check.
one is the Firetop Mountain Wizard, which is one of the most known ones, and there's a Spectrum game for it. So they are being relaunched in Portugal.
The original title is Fighting Fantasy.
Fighting Fantasy. Okay. Let's move.
Let's move to the next game.
Yeah, let's move.
So we're going back to Nuno since we have him already, and
Let's start.
We're going to play now El Bigotudo. I don't know if I pronounced that right. I don't know if Javi is still there and he can correct me.
Tudo. Yeah. It's like the mustache. The big glasses.
Big glasses. Big glasses.
The guy with a mustache.
Yeah, the guy with the mustache.
You were talking about the books, João. Bruno is saying, I have several of those books, only left the last ones who were released in Portugal. Donut Donny said, I'm not an adventure fan, but this game does look pretty in the graphics and sound is decent.
No, sorry, I'm laughing because he's saying
He said
that
he had a
I
mustache.
I exchanged a few messages with Donut Donny recently because we are planning to do something together.
Okay.
And he approached me after the last session and he's saying, "I'm a guy with a mustache," and I'm remembering his face, and yes, he is. Nice.
Okay, so Andre, El Bigotudo, what do you have to say about this game?
It's if I'm not mistaken, it's the third game from Romancha. He created a game in 2019. It was not bad, but not good either game. And the year in 2020 created White Jaguar. The game entered
Oh.
the White
It was in Gotti.
Jaguar.
I remember. It
No,
was
no.
in Gotti.
Uh,
It was in the probably the first Gotti competition that I organized, because I remember, because Jaguar is, to me, is a mythical animal. So I really remember seeing something about it. So it was nominated for some category in that year.
perhaps the graphics.
Yes. Yes.
I can't remember now, but the game entered the Yandex competition that year,
Okay.
2020, and it have done pretty well.
Andre, let me just interrupt you for a second, because Donutoni is asking if this game is 128k only, because he's not seeing very much color clash. Is this the 128k or 48k?
Both machines have the same problem of color clash.
It's saying
Yeah,
I
it
don't see
doesn't-
much color clash that Spec is famous for. It still has, you can see it, but. So, okay,
No,
so
the game is brilliant. It was the first blockbuster from the year. It was released in maybe March, April, and the game. This is a game. This is not a free game, but it's understandable because the team must have been developing the game for 1 or 2 years.
oh,
The game is huge.
how many hours
not
did it took you to complete? I don't know if you completed it, but how
to
many
complete
hours?
the game, around 6 hours.
6 hours.
The
That's
game
for
has-
a Spectrum game.
yeah,
That's a lot.
Yeah, it's a lot because the game has 5 endings.
Okay.
You can. There are several puzzles to complete. Some of them are quite difficult. You don't have instructions. The instructions are not too long, so you have to figure
Oh, okay.
what to do in the game, and you need 1 or 2 hours just to understand what you have to do in the game. Then there are I remember I completed once the game, one of the endings. I don't remember which one, but then I have seen the walkthrough, some walkthroughs from the Russian guys, and the game is incredible.
Oh,
come
on.
So
Andre, just out of curiosity, so White Jaguar was a game from 2020. It reached 4 in the best graphics and reached
Okay.
8 in the GOTY category. It's
Okay.
an amazing year. It's the year of Wonderful Dizzy, Delta Shadow, Wudang, one of the best games, basic games.
in Basit, yeah.
Yeah. So I was just seeing your post about it, and I remember the name White Jaguar from.
Yeah, and I
this game.
remember that. I remember that year that Wonderful Dizzy and Delta Shadow.
It was very hard to.
Yeah, it was very hard because they ended with the same amount
Score.
of points
Okay.
score, and
João Silva was asking. Let me just answer. João Silva was asking if it's from a Next computer. No games for the Spectrum Next are nominated for this categories? These are just 48K or 128K spectrum
Yeah,
games?
For now, the strategy has always been no games outside of 48/128K. That's something we keep discussing internally, but so for now, there's no game from Next or any platform like that.
It wouldn't be fair to compare a game
obviously.
created for the Next and one created for the
Yeah.
It's a much more
48K
powerful
or
computer.
Yeah. You have the Aliens Neoplasma 2. You have the
The
next
next
version.
Okay.
Yeah.
The same
Anyways,
happened with but I don't think it's from this year. It was from the year before. I like that game a lot. It's from PAC-MAN, the one that looks like it's in Egypt.
Sobol.
Yeah, yes, that one. And I remember I bought for the museum the version for the Next, and there's another one. If I'm not mistaken, there are two versions. Sobol Adventure, yes.
Let's just ask Nuno, now that he can speak, what he thinks about the game, and take the opportunity to also speak about the previous one.
It's really good. The gameplay it's good, but the puzzles required a lot of time, I think, which is a good thing. But I'm struggling with that issue at this moment because I'm a little bit lost on the game.
Another game over.
But it's pretty good. Talking about Neoplasma, it's one of my favorite games for the Next, and I'm really surprised with the quality of the Neoplasma with the Spectrum.
Oh, so you played the next version?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's a little bit different.
Obviously.
The gameplay it's a little bit better, but it's normal. But Neoplasma, it's, to me, in my opinion, a really good game. This game is that I'm playing at this moment. It's also a really good game, but I'm to be honest, I don't know what I must do in the game at this moment.
Like André said, it's not an easy game. You have to pay attention, and you have a lot of time to figure out the puzzles. So maybe when you're not in this time crunch, you can take a little time and explore the game again.
There is a lot of things happening in the screen, as you can see. There is puzzles on the bottom of the screen. There is an inventory space that we must manage. This is a really good game, also.
Okay.
As you can see, I catch a Marlboro, a pack of cigarettes. I think.
Okay, so before we go to the next game, I'm just gonna, like the previous games, I'm gonna tell you for which categories it's nominated. So BIGOTUDO is nominated for Best Graphics, for Best Loading Screen, and then it's nominated for Best Adventure and Strategy Game, and finally, I'm seeing here it's nominated for Game of the Year. I'm not forgetting any category.
Yeah.
Okay, so Jorge, let's go to the next game, the final one that Nuno is going to play.
As you can see, the game was nominated for the adventure category, not for the action category. So this is a strategy and adventure game.
Yeah.
Unlike Aliens Neoplasma 2.
Okay, so Jorge, can we change to the next game, which I think it's Donkey Kong, a very famous name. So Jorge, can you put on the next one? It's a thing we see every year. Famous games, versions for the Spectrum, new versions come up always on this list. PAC-MAN is a very common name that shows up every year at the GOTY, and I think it's obvious why they're popular. Everybody knows them. They are great games.
I was just laughing for seeing the name Nintendo there. You have to be courageous to
Nintendo is famous for, let's say, not liking that other people use their IPs.
Yeah, of course, this is a fan thing. It's different, but it's funny that the fact you try to replicate the games you like in your chosen platform I think it's very normal because this is the essence of the Spectrum, in the sense that, okay, we tried to replicate, it was not the only thing, but people tried to replicate the arcade games, which we could never have the same experience. But I think it's a little bit like that. So how far can we go in a replica of Donkey Kong or
But let's
whatever?
not forget, unlike nowadays that Nintendo, their games only release on their consoles, the original Donkey Kong, there was an official version distributed by Ocean Software for the ZX Spectrum. So there's an actual...
One now, two
Two? Okay.
person.
So
One in
you can talk now.
83, another in 86.
Okay. So what's special about this Donkey Kong in particular that's nominated for GOTY of this year?
At last, we have a good conversion of Donkey Kong. The other versions in the past are most of them are awful. Even the Ocean versions are not that good. And this year, Artonapilus, I don't know how to spell his name. Is Lucas? Is a game from Czech Republic.
Czech Republic? Okay.
He decided to create to convert the game. It's maybe a little bit slow. It's not the fastest conversion, but the game is very faithful to the arcade, and it is nice to see Alan Turvey. I know he is on the chat. He was also doing a conversion of the game. There is a small demo. Of the game. He shared.
There goes Noon.
Shared.
Hi.
This is hard. This is an hard game.
No, not hard. I completed the game.
Okay,
Is Andres telling you can play?
This. We've been lucky in the previous episodes
I think
because if you think João is a tough player, André can.
Oh, come on.
So,
And every other episode, I've been the one making fun of everybody else. But today I'm gonna play a game, so now it's my turn to be made fun of.
It is strange because the first level is the hardest. Because
Yes. Yes,
Ah,
I confirm it. I will
Yes.
be honest. I am not a fan of Nintendo games, but this game is a really fun game.
It's very classic. Donny is saying it reminds me of Shucky Egg. Well, I think Shucky Egg probably was inspired by Donkey Kong. I can see the inspiration. Donkey Kong was released first,
Yep.
of course. So Shucky Egg probably was very much inspired
Donkey
by
Kong,
by
we
Donkey
have it
Kong.
in the Game & Watch, for example.
Yeah,
so-
it's like it's one of the first big very popular video games along with PAC-MAN and Space Invaders. It's I would say we do Hall of Fame for specifically ZX Spectrum games, but there's an Hall of Fame for all video games, and I'm sure Donkey Kong is there, and probably one of the first being inducted because it's there. If we're talking about the fathers of video games, I
It's one of
think
them, yeah.
Donkey Kong,
It's,
Pac-Man, Super Mario a little later. Those games are there.
I think
In
it's
play
the
of
first
this
time
game?
that the characters, well, not called
Yeah,
Super Mario, but it's the first time.
It was called the Jumping Man. It was his first name. Actually, I don't know if anybody here saw the Super Mario Brothers movie, but they make a little. Jumping Man makes a little cameo, being a different character from Mario. So if you watch the movie, there's that little Easter egg.
So what do you think, Nun?
It's an hard game. First level is very difficult, but the gameplay of the game is a really good surprise. The gameplay works very well on the Spectrum. I don't know, the conversion is really good.
yeah, it's the best conversion.
This
until
is a
now.
game that needs to run fast so it can be fun. It can't be slow. So it looks like it's perfectly
Yeah, but
at the perfect
the-
speed to be playable.
One thing that is true, and even because we were comparing with Chucky Egg, is that the character doesn't move at the same speed of Chucky Egg.
No.
Because that's
No,
one of
no.
the things in Chucky Egg that is amazing. It's the speed on which.
Lucas, the creator, is improving the game at the moment. He's sending me several versions,
Okay.
and it will be slightly improved.
Okay.
The music,
What's the name of the creator? Lucas what? You can say.
Lucas something. I don't know how to spell it.
I'm just thinking if. Give me just 1 second.
It's his first game.
Okay.
It's amazing. It's his first game.
In the meantime, I was going to say that Donkey Kong is also nominated for Best Arcade and Action Game, and obviously for Game of the Year. So nominated for 2 categories, Donkey Kong.
Very well.
Let's go to the next one. So George, let's go to the next game. So we played Escape from Happy Hills already because of the technical problem we had before. So we are back to Johnny Red, and he's going to play HAFOC Tour. Be careful saying this name because the first word can be censored. So HAFOC Tour.
Yeah.
Last year, and it won the arcade category, I think. We had the, what was it? Was it Hadouken or something like? It seemed like a street. Hadouken, something like that. Yeah, Mark said it.
As well. And do you remember Ishfeld?
No.
Ishfeld or something? It was the game that came first, that came second on last year's GOTY. Ishfeld.
Yes, I know which.
Do you remember? It was created by the same guys that created HAFOC Tour.
Yeah, I thought the loading screen seemed familiar. They used the same border.
It's the same engine.
Yeah. I remember seeing a similar loading screen.
They just created some other missions on the game. The game is smaller than the original Witchfeld. I remember it took me about 10 hours or 12 hours to complete it. This one I completed in 4 hours or something. Also because I knew how to play it. But I do a trick on this game. I don't play it on the standard ZX speed. I double the speed to be more addictive. It improves the playability if you double the speed of the computer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I remember. Obviously, every GOTY I have to do the videos for the nominateds, and the games. Some games get stuck in my head, and this is very familiar from the last year's game. There's similarities, definitely. Okay, so João got the more slower games. First the text adventure, and now this one. This one is nominated as well for Best Adventure and Strategy Game, and obviously for GOTY, so nominated for 2 categories. So, João, what do you think about the game, Johnny Red?
It's kind of an RPG. I believe it is.
It's turn-based, right?
Yeah, it's turn-based. Attack.
In case of doubt, always attack.
Yeah.
I always attack.
Well, you have the ability. If you choose the ability, you can have an improved weapon, and you will hit the enemy
Stronger,
with more power.
in a more powerful way. Yeah. Okay.
In the comments, there are people saying the music is very good, but it's not nominated for best sound. Maybe it was close. I'm not sure, but
okay.
But it's not nominated for best sound. But people are saying the music is good. So
yeah, it's maybe a little bit repetitive.
Yeah.
It has a medieval theme, but repetitive.
Because in obviously the category for sound, it's not just music, it's also the sound of the game. Both have to be good, not just the music or not just the sound effects.
The game has several tasks to complete, different from each field. I remember one of the tasks is to kill a werewolf, and it's like you are going through a maze. It's not easy at all. Maybe more difficult than the standard enemies.
I'm seeing here there's 4 positions, so you get more characters as you play?
Yes. You can get 5 or 6 characters.
Oh, really? Okay. So each
It's
one
the Final
with different...
Fantasy of the spectrum.
With different weapons, with different power.
different stats?
Yes, you can improve your weapons and defense and all your add-ons. So.
Yeah. I have to say RPG, it's probably, I'm not sure if I'm wrong, but I would say RPGs are the hardest games to make for the Spectrum because they're usually very heavy games, so I'm sure it's not easy to do a game like this for the Spectrum, so it's very, very impressive. Okay, so Johnny, if you don't have anything else to add, we'll go into the next game.
The game it's bigger. I'm only on the first fight yet.
Yeah, obviously we're playing a little bit of each. Obviously, there's games that are big and you can't see much from these 5 minutes. I mean, we don't do miracles, obviously, but
If it's a fight, put Chuck Norris and you win for sure.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, you need 4 or 5 hours to complete the game.
Complete the game, yeah.
I'm starting to understand a few things. Now I understand why Andre never has time for anything. He says 10 hours for this one, 12 hours for another, 15 minutes for another.
Yeah,
I'm starting to get it.
I try to complete all the games, and when I do a review,
Come on.
I make sure I complete the game. So I even BIGOTUDO when I did the review, I completed one of the endings, but I have seen the other ending, so I could do a proper review.
Oh, please die.
Okay, so George, let's go to the next game, please.
Like
While they change the game, are there games being developed? For example, someone was saying, Donny was talking about football games, and we remember the kind of sensible soccer clone and things like that. But for example, a game like Daley Thompson Decathlon that everyone remembers for breaking the keyboard and joystick and all of that, are games like that that are much simpler in terms of history being done or not?
There was maybe 3-4 years ago a game like the Daley Thompson Decathlon, created by a Spanish
Team
coder.
Okay.
It was Boreal Basic. It's Basic compiled. And I remember it was very good. The game, it entered one of Radastan's competitions, the Basic competition. I don't remember the name of the game. It was one of the politicians from Spain, and the guy from PP. My memory does not fail.
again.
Aznar or something
Okay,
like that.
so
Yeah, it was Aznar.
Seen a walk through of this one.
If Javi is on the chat, you will know that.
Yeah.
okay, so
Yeah,
I didn't. Sorry, John, I didn't get to introduce the game. We are now playing INNSMOUTH. So another text adventure.
Come on, who did this?
John
to
got
João
all the
Campbell?
text adventures that are nominated.
He's our friend. We shouldn't do this.
Next time we'll get Lanita to play the text adventures.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good
The-
luck with that.
Okay, so this game doesn't have sound, or is it normal?
No.
Okay.
Yeah. It is another text adventure. It is much more than make your own adventure. You have to type some of the you have to type the commands. I remember.
Sorry, Andre. I'm just gonna say goodbye to Donut Doni, who's saying good night. He has to go to sleep. So thank you for joining us, Donut Doni.
Have a good
and
night. Yeah.
See you
Thank
next
you.
time. So Andre, sorry, you can continue.
This game is an improvement on another game BitFans have done 2 years ago in 2022. He created Donum. It entered the GOTY that year.
I remember either the loading screen or something very creepy.
Yes. And the game is creepy.
Okay.
It's based on
I
a
was-
very creepy story.
Yeah. Where does this game comes from? Sorry, Andrea. I didn't hear. Is it the game is Spanish from where or?
It's Spanish, yeah.
Spanish. No, I was just laughing because I was looking at the screen and I was moving 40 years from the spectrum, and I was amazed looking at things like energy 85, but you don't have space to put all the words, so someone wrote energy in that way. But the most funny one for me was the shit XIT, as giving you clues of what to do. And I was
Yeah.
like, what?
No, it's directions you
Now
can take.
we're gonna get banned on Twitch for saying a curse word. Come on.
No, it's with an X. XIT. That's what's written there.
It's like a HAFOC tour. I wasn't actually gonna see the other categories this game is nominated for. So it's nominated for best loading screen. It's nominated for best text adventure. It's nominated for best Spanish language game, and finally nominated also for GOTY. So nominated for four categories. So probably one of the games with more nominations here at this edition of GOTY.
It is fair. It's a wonderful game for people who enjoys the text adventures games. It's one of the best.
What do you think, Johnny? Johnny Rath, what are you thinking about the game?
It's not my kind of game. I never played
Text
text
adventures.
adventures.
And you got both text adventures. I mean, you can blame George. George made the decision to get you the two text adventures. You can speak with us.
Look at this screen.
Yes.
Wow, that screen is
Yeah.
amazing.
It's amazing.
That looks great.
The graphics are beautiful, just like Donum.
Very good. Yeah, Donum. Yeah, you were talking about Donum. That name is also familiar to me from a previous edition. Okay, so we completed the first chapter, and maybe we'll go to the next game, which for the first time ever
Don't
in
you
Loads
want
of
to
X
see
Gaming,
the
I'll
next?
be playing.
Woohoo! Come on, guys.
Now you can
As
make fun of me.
see, it was based on a Lovecraft novel.
It was based on a novel. Okay.
Lovecraft, no, not Lovecraft novel.
Novel, yeah.
Yeah.
Yes, it's a famous author.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so let's embarrass myself, and it's my turn
You
to
are
play.
going to play?
I'm gonna be the one
No pressure,
playing.
no pressure.
No. And I'm not very good at Pac-Man, so this is gonna be fun.
Diogo, let's wait
Everyone
because
is good
João,
at Pac-Man.
João is actually having fun now.
Because I've seen a walkthrough. Because I was completely
So
lost.
no, I can't say this. I was going to say that you were coping.
Well,
Coping with an X.
This one, unlike the other one, you actually have to write the commands.
yeah.
To
The first one you have
do work.
options.
Yeah.
And this one you have to know the commands or you are lost.
You can
Well,
do
don't
it.
embrace yourself anymore. Let's move to another one, please.
Yes, let's go
Let's
to the
move
other one.
to Pac-Man.
I have someone joining me. Come on, Tojon.
There it is. He's shy.
Oh,
Bonito.
Okay, Diogo.
Okay,
You
so
can advance.
after Donkey Kong, we have another famous name here. We have Pac-Man. Pac-Man RX. We were talking about this before. I'm not gonna be playing with the classic keys. I'm sorry. I'm not from that generation. I'm not gonna play with AQOP. I'm gonna be playing with WASD. So make fun of me all you want, but that's what I'm gonna do.
Sacrilege.
Okay, so right, left, down, up, and fire. Okay, and I'm gonna choose the plus mode because this is actually the new thing. And maybe while I play, Andre, you can talk a little about this plus mode, which brings some different rules to the game. So you can talk about it. And I'm gonna embarrass myself and lose at Pac-Man. So, Andre.
Remember all of the loose modes, of, of all of the modes. I remember when you get the board turns invisible or something. Another one speeds you up. Another one stops the ghosts. I don't remember the others. If Alan Turvey, the creator of the game, is on the chat, he can clarify this. The game was created by Alan Turvey. He's a perfectionist.
Now you
I'd say
see.
it is in the good terms. All these games are became perfect conversions of the arcade machines. Um, he has two games this year on the top 10 of the GOTY.
Daisies.
And it is strange,
He's
but
using the wrong
last year,
keys.
last year he had another great conversion of Pac-Man. It was created by
Oh, yeah.
a Portuguese guy, Mark Val, and
It was placed
it
second on the GOTY.
placed second. No, placed
third.
maybe
Fourth.
Fourth, sorry,
Fourth.
yeah, fourth, yeah.
Fourth. Yeah, I
Yeah,
remember.
Game over already.
One thing
Yeah, it
amazing
was
in this game is the speed. I like it a lot.
it's like the arcade machine. It's perfect. It was the first time a Portuguese game went to the GOTY, and I was surprised to see another Pac-Man conversion on the GOTY, but the game is perfect. It's wonderful,
Very nice.
and everybody enjoys the Pac-Man. So.
Andre,
To
this
be
is
fair,
a tricky question, and of course, I'm only asking for your personal opinion, nothing more than that. But so, how do you compare the two Pac-Man conversions, the other one from last year and this one? Is this a better one or different or?
with this one, I won't say it is better. This one is as good as the other one, but this one has the free modes, different modes you can. So I guess it makes it better than the Mark Valve release.
Okay.
Not because of
Just
standard game.
curious.
Yeah, not because of the standard game. They are quite faithful to the arcade game. So I think it's almost the same, but the extra modes gives
So
something
I think
more.
when we
Okay.
were preparing this, someone so we were
Damn it.
joking with the Diogo, and I think everyone understands why the guy didn't even pass the first level. Come on, I don't get it.
Come on, wrong
I have.
keys, it's the
I'm
problem.
gonna use the same excuse as Rui. I have lag in the.
And there's lag in the keyboard,
lag.
yeah, always the same thing. But I think I remember you guys were discussing about the fire key. What is it for? Pac-Man.
I think it's just to play, to select.
Oh, it's just to start the game.
Yeah, I think so. I'm gonna try to catch this fruit because he has a special effect. in the plus. So everything got black
The
now,
board,
and I died.
the board is all dark. It's invisible.
So I thought it would help me, but it made me lose. So thanks a lot.
Sometimes
there's no
it
hope.
helps.
The way you're
Other
playing, there's no hope. Oops. There he goes.
The AI is very difficult.
Diogo is like a Swiss watch. It's a Timex watch. Get out
Not a
of
They're
there!
faster than me.
Yo, this is not Mortal Kombat. It's not come over here.
It's easy.
I'll play only once more.
Let's go to another one.
Let's try.
Yes.
Let's try. Let me see if I can pass one level at least. Ah, come on.
It's already starting quite
I guess
well.
not.
Diogo, remember our stream needs to end before midnight. Just
Yeah.
And this time it's not mid.
At midnight, I transform myself
in a werewolf.
Or game, yeah, in a werewolf. And I have to
Werewolf
live-
was in the previous game, on the second game I played.
Yes. Yes.
Woohoo! There he goes. You need to hit the dots, man.
I'm trying, but
Yeah,
I'm not.
he's
I'm
got
not
to run
actually.
from them.
I'm not actually lying. This has a
What's
little
that
bit of a delay, so
Yeah,
I'm trying to
delay.
turn sometimes and I can't.
And
Okay.
I
Team
already told the
decision.
wrong keys.
Next time the game that Diogo is going to play is Ainun. Simple.
You can play Pac-Man Begins.
Ah, I got the
Another
fucking
There goes
dark
again.
one again. I
So,
got the
but you
same
can-
effect as last time.
Yeah.
Dead
game.
again.
You can play Pac-Man Begins. It's another game from Alan Turvey. It has just one key. Maybe it's more.
That's more my speed.
I don't know if you will continue talking to you, Andre.
Well, I'm better
Ah,
at
you were
I'm better
nice.
at other games. I'm better at games that came after 2000. So not to call you guys old.
This
but
one came in
This is from
2024.
last year.
What's the excuse?
it doesn't count. It's for a computer from the 80s. I play more sophisticated.
You're running it on a PC. Come on.
I play more sophisticated video games.
We have another player coming. Hi. You want to play with us?
No.
No. Katerina doesn't want to play.
Let's move.
Let's move to Penguin Attack, and this time is Jorge who's
Jorge.
gonna be playing.
Okay, let's go for it.
The man with no leg.
Yeah, he's the one that has. Now I can understand Rui. I also had lag. So Rui was right all along.
You had the wrong keys.
Yes.
Yeah.
A guy that plays a Spectrum game and complains about key AOP space or M. Come on.
Yeah, I don't even
Next
like.
time
I don't like to play on a
ask for
keyboard.
joystick. Come on.
I don't like to play on a keyboard. I prefer to play on a
No,
controller.
Forget that. Let's stop here. Let's stop here.
I don't even play on a computer. I always play PlayStation. Okay, so Andre,
It's a computer.
I didn't. Sorry, before that, because I was playing, I didn't say, but the other categories that Pac-Man is also nominated
Bitcoin.
for. So let me see here. So Pac-Man is, besides GOTY, is also nominated for Best Arcade and Action Game. So Andre, what about Penguin Attack? What do you have to tell us about this game?
It's a poor arcade game. It was created by the Morita team. It's one of the best team in Spanish. I remember they have done last year, no, 2 years ago, Tokimal, or it was last year. You can check now. And all their games are wonderful. They spend a lot of time producing and creating the games, and okay, it's very addictive. It's a very addictive game. It only has 21 levels. Yeah, 21 levels. I remember completing the game with fallback. Of course, it's not an easy game. first levels are easy, but after you completed level 3 or 4, the difficulty increase, and we know how the Spanish people like difficult games. Yeah, it's a very good, a very good arcade game. Maybe different from the standard games that Morita team
Well,
usually.
it's not much day.
Sorry.
It's not much day.
No,
But it's
no,
quite nice.
It's a very addictive game for people who like the arcade games. It's wonderful, and George is playing very well for what I can see.
We have here, I don't know if he was with us before, but we have Silva, 1983 with us now. When I was playing, he's saying that WASD on a real spectrum are harder than the OPQA. And he's also saying that this game, the Penguin Attack, reminds him of Arctic Adventure. Is that a name that's familiar? Antarctic
Maybe,
Adventure.
maybe.
Nice.
Probably it was based on the Arctic Adventure.
Okay, but it's also a Spectrum game, but the released in the 80s, I'm assuming.
No. Which one is Arctic Adventure? It's not.
Antarctic Adventure.
It's a Spectrum game. I don't know it.
I don't
It's
know
the-
the
it's
Antarctic
this-
Adventure.
It's the
Oh, he's
third
saying-
game of Spy vs Spy
No, he's saying he played it
No,
on
no,
the
no.
arcade
On
and
the arcade
the
NES. No,
NES,
it's a game
so
from
it's
arcade.
not a
Okay,
Spectrum
yeah.
game.
So yes, it's based on the Arctic Adventure. Yes, no,
Yeah.
not the Specky game.
Saying it's not a Specky game, it's a arcade and Nintendo Entertainment
Nintendo.
System.
I like this game.
Seems easy to understand, but it's not very easy to play because there's a lot of
Now
going
you're
on.
not making fun of George. You make fun of me for losing at Pac-Man, but George, you don't make fun.
George is the one running the server. Do you want to break this? Come on. It's like when you were a kid and you played football in the street. The owner of the ball is always right.
Exactly. So Penguin Attack, just like Pac-Man, it's nominated also for Best Arcade and Action Game and GOTY. So 2 nominations for Penguin Attack.
Seems interesting. Seems complicated. Nice.
It's funny. You have to throw snowballs to hit the enemies.
It's penguins, not ducks.
Yeah.
If these were ducks, Johnny Red would like the game because he is the biggest Chucky Egg fan. So if there were ducks,
No, not Dex. Dex.
Oh, tags. Yes. Yes.
good job.
Very nice, very nice.
So this is
This with the 2 players mode is like Pang or something like that.
does this has 2-player mode?
No, I was just
No? Okay.
thinking. The screen reminds me of a game like
Yeah.
Pang.
Okay, so we'll wait until George loses and then we can go into the next game.
Annoying.
This also has a pretty good music, very catchy.
Yes. There he goes.
There he goes. He still has 1 life left, and then we'll go into the next game, which is another familiar name, which is Scramble. I'm curious to see.
Also from Alan Tarvek.
I'm curious to see that one as well.
All right.
Worse and worse.
So to dodge the balls that come from
You
the
go down.
penguins,
yeah.
you slide. Yeah.
Yes.
Diogo, is Alan Tarvek on the chat?
No, I don't think so.
I don't think so. No.
Yeah,
I think he made a comment in a group, but
Yeah,
no.
yeah. It's probably it's too late where he lives. He lives in Kazakhstan.
I'm not sure what time is it there, but maybe yeah.
Yeah, it's maybe almost in the morning.
Try to catch the fish.
So now that we want to move on to the next game, George has started to play well.
Imagine if that would have happened with the previous guy.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
Aha!
there it is.
Okay, I lost.
Okay, so that was Penguin Attack. So, like I said before, we are moving on to the next game, which is Scramble RX. Let's see, George is gonna keep playing. He's gonna play this one in the final game after this one.
And it's from the same author.
From PAC-MAN.
Yes.
The same author from PAC-MAN,
Yes,
right?
from PAC-MAN.
I was seeing there's Andre, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but there's a physical edition with both of these games and more, right? Yeah.
On the midnight View collection.
Yeah. So okay, so
remember gaming.
It's a pity our custom works so bad because I like to have I really enjoy to have the physical editions, and I stopped buying the most of the English
because yeah, you
because
can.
of custom.
So Andre, what do you have to say about this game?
I have to be honest. I usually don't like shoot 'em ups, but I love these games.
This
I
game
guess-
looks very nice.
I test this game probably around 30 versions or something. I was testing the game several versions. Alan was sending me the versions for me to test, and I can complete the game just with one life after playing it so much. It's easily the best Scramble conversion to be on the spectrum. It has six levels. Then it starts on the first level. The game is perfect. It's a perfect conversion.
And it's also hard.
Uh,
I'm seeing George is having
it's
difficulty.
hard. No, not hard.
Okay, so
You
George
have-
can play. Okay. I'm guessing every game for Andre is easy, and then
Is easy,
we start
yes.
playing
No,
and
no,
it's
no,
hard.
no, It's easy for me this game because I tested more than
Of
20
course.
or 30 versions, and I played it for hours and hours and hours to check for bugs.
It's a game I imagine myself playing. It seems interesting, very interesting.
I like this type of shoot 'em ups as well.
Yeah.
The horizontal and vertical ones. But actually, the first game I remember playing, one of the first I remember playing when I was a kid, was a game called Chicken Invaders, which was literally a space shooter but vertical that you had to shoot chickens. I don't know if anyone has heard of this game, but it was my first one of my first games.
Yeah, continue.
Whoa, whoa! This is fast.
Yes, it's
Yeah,
like
I was trying to. There
like
are some
RPG.
classic games similar to this where you're shooting down and shooting in front. Of course, R-Type and many others. But this reminds me some game in the Spectrum, but I don't know which one.
Penetrator.
Penetrator. Okay,
And
must be it because I remember that game a lot.
Penetrator is also a Scramble clone. So.
Okay, I didn't know that. Penetrator ZX Spectrum. Let me check it out because
But,
I remember the
Was there any Scramble already on the ZX Spectrum, or is this the first one?
Penetrator for what they're saying.
Yes, but not good at all.
Not as good as this one. Okay.
No, far from it.
Far from it, okay. So, if anybody wants to play Scramble, this is on the Spectrum, this is the version to play.
If you want to play Scramble, I would advise first play Penetrator.
Okay.
It's a
The
funny
game
game.
is good. Come on, I'm seeing the walkthrough. The game is good. Don't say it's bad.
Yes, it's good, and it's a funny name for a Spectrum
Yes.
game. For a game,
Yes.
Penetrator.
Yes,
Okay.
I think that's why I remember it. To be very honest, I'm sharing a video in the.
Of
in the
course,
chat.
Penetrator is a 82 or 83 game, I don't remember, and this is an actual game, so of course this one is better. But you can choose both.
Yes,
both
82.
games to play. There are dozens of clones and from Scramble Spectrum, and to be honest, I like this one. I love this one. I still play it. It's and sometimes I play Penetrator. The other ones are.
Okay, so Scramble RX, like the two previous games, besides GOTY, is also nominated for Best Arcade and Action Game. And I hadn't noticed this, but for the category for Arcade and Action, all the games nominated are also nominated for Game of the Year. So Aliens, Neoplasma 2, Donkey Kong, PAC-MAN RX, Penguin Attack, and Scramble RX, all nominated for GOTY, and all nominated for Best Arcade and Action Game. So a very popular category this year.
It's very complicated.
We have to go forward. We have to go forward.
Maybe you have to go forward.
Yeah, we have to go
Really back.
Yeah.
You are very back. You are very, 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 very. No.
Okay, so
Okay.
let's go to
George,
the
what-
final
Next one, final
to
game.
the final game.
Yes,
George, what do you think about this game?
I think it's very nice. It reminded me of Penetrator. I think it's very well done. I like that when we lose, when it's game over, we can recover the last position and restart from there. So it's refreshing. Usually the Spectrum didn't have that kind of option. So it makes you advance. It's more enjoyable, let's say.
Okay,
Nice.
so
like
we're
this
going
one.
into the last game, and it's
Terminator.
Skynet.
Terminator.
And I think, yeah, I was going to say this is a very familiar character for a lot of
Oh, it's Brazilian, the game.
Machave.
Is it, André? The game is Brazilian, right?
No. It has several versions, and
This one is Portuguese.
yeah, it's a Spanish. I
Okay.
think it's Spanish. It's the same guy from Hocken.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, okay.
And Hocken, yeah.
Did you?
Skynet.
Was it any Portuguese guy who did the translation, or was it Brazilian for this game? Do you know? Maybe.
Who did the
No,
translation?
it wasn't me. This one was
It wasn't you.
I don't remember. I don't know. I don't know
Okay.
who translated the game.
Okay, so
Uh,
tell us more about the Skynet and why do you have the Terminator on a loading screen?
It's a futuristic game. This game, it's the only standard HDD. It was created with the multi-platform arcade game designer. It is the only standard HDD game on the top 10 of GOTY.
Okay.
So I guess people nowadays choose the some games with a more old school feeling, and only choose the HDD games when they are really good. And this is a really good game created with a standard machine. It's an arcade adventure. It's an arcade adventure, and it's funny because it's very well known in Spain, and people really love this game.
Does he have
As you
any
can- as
any
you can
actual?
see, as you can see,
Does
the
he have
graphics
any
are very
connection to actually a connection to Terminator? Is it based anything, or is just a similar robot?
No, it's I guess it's the futuristic.
Okay, it's just inspiration. Okay, very well. João Silva was telling us put João Encarnado playing that game. I don't know if he's referring to this one or the previous one, but João Silva
Any of them.
wants to see you play one of these games. And he's
Spare
saying,
the you have to spare the bullets. It's better, and you must choose another path because you have to go. If I remember well, you have to go to the right and then down.
Não tenho balas. There you go.
João Silva and Nuno, who's here with us, are also again saying the music is very good. This game is actually nominated for Best Sound, and besides that, it's nominated for Best Spanish Language Game and for GOTY. So 3 nominations for SKYNET. So it's curious. This game is nominated for GOTY, but not nominated for a genre category. I would assume this would be in action or adventure. It's nominated for GOTY, but it's not on the genre category. So that's interesting.
In which category?
I'm saying this game is nominated for GOTY, but it's not nominated for a genre category. So I'm assuming this is a adventure game. It's not or action, and it's not on those categories.
It's not a finalist
nominated.
on that category.
Yeah, it's not a finalist on those categories. I don't know
Yes,
which one.
because
Which one would you put in mod or arcade and action maybe, or
I can check. Let me check because it went to the final 10 of that category. Let me check.
so
Check.
George was exterminated. So let's try again.
I usually don't give the nominees only the 5 nominees, not
Yes.
the other ones. But it was 6th on the arcade.
Ah, okay. So like we were saying before, arcade, all the games are nominated for Game of the Year. So
Yeah.
it was a very popular category this year. So
Yeah,
that explains it.
Yeah, yes, that explains.
So this year for GOTY, more than 50% are arcade games, which is cool to see. I think it's for the ZX Spectrum in particular, it's a very popular category. When we are at Lisboa Games Week, we usually put arcade games, and that's the games that people play and like to play because they're easier to, you haven't played the game, but you start and it's there are easy controls and you can just sit down and start playing them. So I understand why they're popular, and clearly they were popular with the jury this year.
Yep.
And this game looks really good. So it's not nominated for arcade, but in this,
I can spoil. I can spoil something. I'm going to say to give the 20 games that didn't make it to the top 10 in alphabetical order. It was Arlo, Binary Battle, Lond, César de Sonambulo, Cursed Castle 2, La Daga Oscura, The Dark Knight, Dr. Acula. It was a surprise for me seeing Dr. Acula not getting to the top 10.
The finalists, yes.
Yeah, Gilligan's Mine, Artlight, Set Steamboat Willie, Magic Tower, Max Stone, Vizador 2, PAC-MAN Begins, Tetro Robbins in Micro Blitz, Rockfall 3, Secrets, Shippies, and Spider's Game.
Okay, so a lot of those games didn't made it into the top 10, but they are nominated for other categories, at least some of them.
Some of them are on other categories, but those games entered the top 30 of the GOTY.
Yeah, well, you were saying names that are familiar. You said Arlo, that is nominated for other categories.
Dr.
First
Acula,
Castle,
I
Dr.
remember seeing
Acula,
the reviews.
Spalder's Game.
It was a surprise for me not seeing Dr. Acula and Gilligan's Mine on the top. That's life. It's a democracy, so people.
I mean, but that just speaks to the quality of the games this year. There's games that didn't manage to make it, but there are still great games. But only 10 can be nominated. If one day we start nominating 30, I doubt it, but if one day we start nominating 30, those games can make it. But obviously there's only 10 spots, but maybe they can win other categories. That's okay. Okay, so George, what do you have to say about the final game you're playing, SKYNET? Are you liking it?
Yes, I like it. I have never been this far in my tests. But it's cool, yes. It's difficult, but you have to know.
What were you saying?
You have to know where to go.
But the game looks very, very good. I like how the game looks.
You cannot fight fire on these things. You get crazy.
The game looks great. I'm always fascinated with what people can make with only 128k, which nowadays is nothing. So it's fascinating to see what people can do with such limited resources.
Oh, this is a 48k.
And this is one is a 48, so
Yes,
even more amazing.
Usually there are 128k only for the music,
Okay.
for the AI chip. Only for that. The game runs in 48k.
It's more amazing even 48k. It's nothing.
Yeah.
I mean, a word file, it's more than that. So with 2 words
Yes.
written, so
Yes.
it's fascinating how much people can do
Yes.
with such limited resources. It's really impressive. Okay, so that was it, I think. We played the 10 nominees for Game of the Year. Obviously, each one has their preferences, but all these games they deserve to be on this list. They all are very good on their own genre. Now we have to wait a little over a week to see who wins.
Who wins?
Andre obviously already knows, but he won't spoil it for you, obviously.
No.
But in the 15th, we are going to reveal the winner not only of the GOTY, but the other categories and the ZX Spectrum Game Hall of Fame. So I think it's time to say goodbye to everybody on the chat. So let's start with Andre, who for the first time joined us. So if you want to add anything, go ahead. If not, say goodbye to everybody watching us.
Just to say goodbye. It was a pleasure to be here, and I really enjoyed it. It's a shame my Wi-Fi is not as good as yours. It was not bad today.
It
I
worked.
remember, yeah, it worked. At least it worked. I remember seeing sometimes I tried to play online with George, and the game was it was a struggling to play it because the image stopped and so on. So have a good night, everyone. Thank you for watching us. So let's do it again.
Okay. And hopefully one day when you have that problem of the internet solved, you can join us more times. So thank
My
you.
Wi-Fi is satellite, so
Yeah, it's hard, of course. Yeah. Okay. So thank you, Andre. I'm also. In the meantime, this guy woke up as well, so I have company now. So next, Johnny Red, say goodbye to everybody at home.
See you all. Now I understand PLANETA, and in the end, I finally played something with some action.
Okay. We had to let you play PAC-MAN so you wouldn't go sleep sad for just playing text adventure. Okay, thank you for joining us. Nuno, say goodbye to everybody at home.
Okay, once again, I want to thank to the museum and to everybody that was watching us tonight, and wish good luck for all the games that we saw here tonight.
Thank you, Nuno. Jorge.
Well, I hope everyone had fun watching these games. I think there is a very big possibility that this is one of the biggest years in quality games, I think, in the recent times. So thank you for watching and hope you enjoyed.
Thank you. I think João was agreeing with you. Definitely the bar is set very high this year. There's a lot of great games. And finally, João, say goodbye to everybody.
Yeah, I agree with what was said. I think there are at least 3 or 4 games that caught my personal attention. On this session, I would like to stress that I think it was an amazing idea. It was also nice because unlike when you're playing old games where you may know them or not, in this case we are a part of Andrea. We were all in the same page, so none of us knew the game except for preparing this session. So it was nice to see them firsthand. It will help me also during the GOTY session to know a little bit about them already. I think next year we can do also, it's different, but we can do also for the games in the Hall of Fame. And so I think it's a good idea to not only play the classics, but also to to explore new things. So GOTY is really going bigger and higher and aiming high. And so if you can join us in Cantanhede, you are more than welcome. I think there will be free champagne, as I was told. I bought it already, so I can say that. So join us. It will be a nice afternoon on the 15th of February afternoon, and in the morning we also have other activities. So please join us if you can.
Okay, so I'm gonna say goodbye to everybody watching us. I'm seeing João Silva. He's always present with us, so thank you again for joining us. He'll certainly be on a future live with us. I think George already emailed him to try to get him on a future episode. Thank you to Bruno, a Silva. I'm seeing here if there's more names. Okay, so Donny went away a little earlier. So thank you everybody that watched us, even those who didn't comment, who just watched us. We don't know when we'll be back with the LoZX gaming, but hopefully we'll be very soon. Now we
after the GOTY, right?
after the GOTY. Now we have the GOTY to worry about, and later we'll be back with a classic format, playing classic games, doing tournaments, and I think that's it. Thank you all for watching, and see you next time. Bye bye.